Multimedia Complex. This is your local artist highlight. I am your host, J.R. King. I'm honored to sit here today with our highlighted guest. He has been nominated for 4 Southern Plug Music Awards, including Breakout Artist of the Year. He has been featured in several magazines. He is a spoken rap artist, music producer, audio engineer, graphic designer, and computer technician. Welcome to Studio 125, Big Bailey.
Yo.
How you doing
What's
today,
good?
brother?
Doing pretty good on this lovely afternoon, and just happy to be here and get this thing rolling.
Okay. First off, let's thank you for coming down for the interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Con-
including me.
Congratulations on all your amazing accomplishments. I'd like to start to talk about the man behind the accomplishments.
Okay.
Who is Big Bailey as a person?
Well, Big Bailey is. I'm a guy who, and behind the music, the reason why things come out in my music these days is trying to be positive and uplifting is because I just noticed, I don't know how long ago, that a lot of my friends, a lot of the world, I just see a lot of people that are just down, going through depression, undiagnosed and sad and struggling and all kind of different issues. And I'm just like, I'm a pretty happy and upbeat person in life. So I try to spread that message as much as I can, and that's pretty much like I found a higher purpose. I feel is, to, like I say, to uplift and motivate people as the best I can, because thank God for my life and my upbringing. I'm pretty positive myself, so and I pride myself on my sense of humor, ability to make people laugh sometime. Just having fun, just enjoying life, because the world is a rough place. So it's good for people look to entertainment to get them away from whatever they're going through in life. So if I can just make you smile through one line or through one song, then my job is done. So that's pretty much who I am as an artist, as a man.
Right. I've listened to your music. You do way more than just make people smile. Your music has the messages that I hear inside your music are great. It's very needed.
Thank you.
But I would like to start a little further back. Who are you? Where you from?
Okay, so I was born in Queens, New York. My girlfriend picks on me all the time when I say I'm from New York, because I don't really, of course, I don't have a New York accent or nothing.
No.
I wasn't raised there. I was just born there.
Mm-hmm.
My mom brought me back to her home down south. She's originally from Edgefield County, Johnston, South Carolina, and her family. So
Okay.
she brought me back down south when I was probably, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said I was like really young, 2 or 3 years old. So I was raised in this area, went to Midland Valley and North Augusta High School, and I lived all over the CSRA as far as where I live. But I claim Langley as my, where I was raised, and currently I live in Aiken, South Carolina. But I've mainly been performing all over Augusta and Columbia these days. So yeah.
Okay. If you had to highlight one memory growing up that you want to share with the world, what would that be?
Ooh, wow. I got a good one, and I say it in one of my poems on my first CD titled "Hey Fat Man." Cause I grew up financially destitute, poor. My mother found us a way out of that, thank God. But we never had a lot of money, and I'm still not rich. I'm doing a lot better, but and I said in that poem that I never had this. We finally earning a mattress, no more sleeping on the floor. And that was a day I strictly remember, because I really was sleeping on the floor on a pallet, like not even on a mattress. Because we were all bunched in a little small unit, me and my brother and uncles and aunts and my mother, as a single mother. And the day that I was able to actually sleep on that mattress when I was a kid, that made me look at things totally differently. I was very much more appreciative, and the struggle that my mother had to go to just to get us that mattress. I think about that sometimes, going back. But yeah, it was a day when somebody got their tax returns. I forgot who it was, but somebody in the family, it's tax season now. Everybody waiting on that return or that
Right.
refund if they get one. So, but yeah, that's a big thing that I remember. And I was in preschool at the time. That's one of my earliest memories, actually. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I could think of.
Okay. in that you spoke about using that in one of your poems. And as I speak
Yes.
to the artists around the city, a lot of people use life experience to fuel and write their stuff. So I would like to ask you, what is your creative process when you start to?
Well, normally with poetry or music, I just write. I write as much as I can. I don't really do too many edits on my stuff or drafts. I usually just go with what comes, and sometimes I'll go back and modify some stuff with the music to go to the beat better. But normally, I just it usually comes to me either in the middle of the night or as I wake up from a dream, where most of my writing comes from.
Okay.
And one of the things I'm always curious about is that with technology, a lot of people still like to put that pen to paper type of thing. I'm a
Yeah.
digital person these days.
Okay.
I'm either on my phone, or I do voice text, or I just do voice memos as far as how I actually physically, get my stuff out. But yeah, I get inspired out from all different things. But normally it comes to me late at night or in after I wake up from a weird dream.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's crazy because most of mine come in chaos, really loud
Yes,
music. I turn the
yes.
music all the way up, and then I get clarity. The
Okay.
louder, the more bass it is, the more at peace my mind is, and it helps me think. It gives me clarity.
That makes me think when I actually am writing. Normally, I listen to classical music. I listen to Bach, Brahms, and Beethoven, the three B's. Not just writing, but even just studying or all throughout the day. I love classical music. And my favorite is Symphony Number Nine, of course, which I mentioned in my poem "I See You." But yeah, I'm really into classical music. It helps me focus, and it's I can understand just the thoughts of having just something music going to keep you going. So yeah, that's how I am as well.
Right. So earlier you spoke about your mom and your upbringing and how she was able to get you guys out of the situation that you was in. And that brings me to the song Johnnie Mae.
Yes,
It was a
sir.
song that you was able to express your appreciation and your love to your mom. You want to speak about that a little?
Yes, sir. That song started out as a Mother's Day poem many years ago before it was even I even thought of making it into a full song. Um, she loved it, of course. Uh, and thank God, I'm so happy that first of all, my mother just passed last year. Matter of fact, almost a year ago to this day, it was in January of 2021. She passed of COVID, which a lot of people don't even know, and she had heart issues all before that. But I finished the song probably like 4 months before she passed. So I was so happy that I was able to get that out, and she was able to hear it. Like she said, and I say in the song, "Give her flowers while she was living." She always preached about that,
Yeah.
and that she knows I was a great son. She always used to tell me, and as a matter of fact, she was in the hospital for about 6 months at university having heart issues before she got out, and then she had to have a full time caregiver. I quit my job. I was her full time caregiver for about 4 months before she passed. And I wouldn't have had it no other way. She was a very loving and caring mother. I wouldn't trade her for the world. Um, and that's why I wanted to dedicate. I had to have that song on my album dedicated to her. It was a no brainer. And let's see. So yeah. So and then after she passed away. Just a side note. I was raised by her as a single mother all my life. Never knew my father, ever met him or nothing. A couple months after she passed away, my father's uh one of my brothers reached out to me, one of my half brothers, found me on the internet through my tech support business. So it was weird. I'm like, I lost a parent and then I gained one. So I finally met my father after all these years last year as well. So that was interesting for me. But yeah, a lot of people like we know you're so close to your mother and it had to be hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's a different way of life living without her. But at the same time, I'm at peace. Like I'm not still down and sad. I know she wouldn't want me to be that way. She want me to celebrate her life, not think about the one day I lost her.
All right.
So that's the way I try to look at death in general. I know people grieve differently, but I feel like when you do right by a person, that makes it easier to grieve. When you feel like, oh, I wish I could have said this, I wish I could have. I don't have no regrets. So I appreciate her. She knew it. She knew I loved her deeply, and she loved me deeply. So that's why I had to have Johnnie Mae dedicated to her. And I have the lovely Lolita Pierre singing that song, who is a great friend of mine over the years, great vocalist. But yeah, and I wanted to make sure that was one of my songs that I produced, I mixed and mastered, I did everything. I even produced the melodies and the arrangement. I did everything. Just got her to sing on it, all my work, and she loved it. And it got some great coverage through the media. So I'm very proud of that song.
Right. I saw the article, and I think in Augusta,
Aiken Standard. Yes.
Aiken Standard.
Yes, sir.
And they highlighted you for that song. And when I heard it, I can relate. I lost my mom when I was 20 to
oh wow,
cancer.
Ooh.
So to see that you were able to, because I was one of the people with all the regrets.
Oh.
You know, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. And I have an older sister, and she took on the responsibility of being the full-time caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really spend that much time in the hospital, though. It was mostly at the house in a bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I heard it, I thought it was amazing what you did. And at the end of the video, you recording yourself and you're talking to her in the car.
Yeah.
And you're telling her that you love her, and she turns around and tell you, "I appreciate you, and I'm grateful to have a son like you." That part right there.
Man, you about to make me cry.
I mean, hey, but it's amazing though, man. It's amazing that you was able to do that. You know, so many people don't get that, and you know, when you don't get that closure, you walk around with it, and it is a negative thing. You only harp on that day that you lost them.
Yeah.
So a year later, to hear you say that you're able to look at it this way, I'm not gonna lie. It just took me. It happened when I was 20, 38 now. Last year was the first year I was able to look at that in a positive manner, you know. So all that time I carried around that burden, man. So that message is real powerful for people like myself. So for that, I appreciate you making that song for your mom, because you kind of like did it for all of us who lost ours too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So moving on, you spoke about your father though, and meeting him right after. That got to be a hell of an experience in itself, right there.
Goodness. I'm talking about, it's kind of like, pointing back to the album again, the track after Johnnie Mae is a track called James, which is about my absent father. And it's an angry track. It's not positive at all, because I was very angry at him for so many years for just abandoning me.
Right.
Twist to the story is that my mom would always say, it's not his fault. It wasn't his fault. I don't know if I want to get too personal, but let's just say there were unfavorable circumstances around my conception. Okay. That's the only way I'm gonna say it. Right. And but when I did finally meet him, I understood why my mom said it wasn't all his fault, because he told me his story. My father suffered tremendously from bipolar disorder. And many years when I was a child, he said he was living on the streets or in and out of mental hospitals, up in New York, around our area in Johnston and everything. So he finally got his was it his brother or one of his uncles? Somebody finally rescued him basically and took him in and got him back on track. And he had many different physical and mental health issues. But now, thank goodness, after all these years, he's finally at a stable state. And, he's 70-some years old. He's still walking around without a cane. He ain't got no glasses, and he's mentally stable. And he was very open to me, which I appreciate, right. Because he wasn't, like, defensive or, I wasn't trying to attack him about anything. I just wanted to know why more than anything else.
Right.
Like, and he explained, and it made sense. It still stings, I ain't gonna lie, but at the same time, I wouldn't be the person I am if some people kind of say, like, would you rather be I think someone said this to me, that's like, would you rather your father been there and been an alcoholic who beat you every day or something, or him not be there? I'm like, wow, what kind of choice is that? What kind of choice? Like, why can't I just have a great father that's gonna be a good dad? Like, right. So they kind of look, and I'm like, you know what? When you think about it that way, things could have been much worse. And thank God I had a great mother, because if I wouldn't have, then I wouldn't be the person I am today. And the situations we go through make us who they are, whether who we are, whether positive or negative. So, like I say, I'm happy that I have a relationship with him now, and we speak very often. And I finally met my half brothers and sisters. Um, and yeah, uh, it was interesting. It's like I had so many questions in the back of my head that I wanted to ask him one day, but actually meeting him, it was so like it wasn't real to me. It's like I pitched myself to see if I'm still dreaming or something, and it's still I don't know if it's still completely sunk in that I met my father after 38 years. Like, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy it finally happened. I'm happy he doing well. So yeah.
That's an amazing story. I mean, it actually sounds like one of those Hallmark movies. It's like when right before the bad thing happened, then the sun come up and some great happened. That's what it sounds like. But it's amazing that you guys were able to actually just talk about it. A lot of people don't get that chance. I didn't get that chance to make it right. My father left when I was 6, so just had all of that in my head. I only heard bad things about him, so I never had any closure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish I could have just had that talk with that. So yeah, it sounds like you put a lot of your life experience in your music also.
Definitely.
Infuse that.
Definitely.
So you also speak a lot of positivity into the community. What fuels that?
Well, I just even through talking to close friends and just looking at the world in general over the years, I realized that so many people are down, sad, and depressed, diagnosed and undiagnosed. Perhaps medication can help sometimes, and that's another thing that I advocate for is mental health and counseling in general. Especially in the black community, so many people have a stigma about seeing a counselor or a psychiatrist. I don't know why, and I don't like that at all. But yeah, I just noticed so many people are just down in general, like, and people have their vices. Sometimes they look to negative things or illegal things to make them feel better, and people have entertainment, and it's an escape, and it gets them away from what they're going through on a daily basis. Like I say, if one of my songs or one of my lines can make one person smile, then my job is done. Just to give them a temporary uplifting or anything, even if it is temporary. But that's pretty much been my goal since I realized that it's a lot of people that are struggling out here and they need something to turn to, which is I wear this cross even though I don't claim Christianity. That's a whole other story. But I have Christian values and I believe in the golden rule and, treating others as you want to be treated. And I feel like I've been blessed with a clear and positive attitude because it all starts with your attitude.
It does.
It really does. And if you like I say, if you always look to the sun, you'll never see a shadow. If you keep your head up, if you look for positivity to happen, you'll notice it more. If you think, oh, I'm going to have a bad day today, wrong, like I say in one of my songs, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or I'm not a morning person, you going to have a bad day. It's guaranteed. So it's all about manifestation, positive energy, positive thoughts, positive attitude. And I try to put that out to the world and hope as many people receive it as possible.
Yeah, most definitely. You say if you can bring one smile to someone's face, you feel like your job is done.
Yes, sir.
Well, my brother, you got to get another goal because you make me smile. When I listen to the music, you had me smiling. Okay. It brings me to the next one. Never Quit on Your Dreams album.
Yes.
And that song, I love it.
Shout
out to two people that's on there with you.
Rosa John and Kato the King. And I gotta also shout out the videographer Conker Jones, C.W. Comer, who's an artist. He's featured on the album himself as well. He's great, everything he does. But yeah, Rosa and Kato, they brought it for sure.
Yeah, that was amazing. Her vocals, his verse, all you guys together, man, was magic. I love what you guys put together. But talk about what led you into that album.
It's funny because, let me see, my wristband that I've been had out has Never Quit on Your Dreams and my website on it. This black one was the first one.
Okay.
Maybe how many years ago was it I produced those? Probably like 5-6 years ago now. I just wanted to have some kind of message just to give people, and people always say don't quit, don't give up, follow your dreams. Well, like, I'm gonna put a different spin on it. I'm gonna say never quit on your dreams. Try to be unique, a little different. And that started a long time ago before I even conceptualized the album by that title. But once people started appreciating it, and I realized that, hey, this could be my whole concept for a good album. And then I started the writing process probably 3 years back, and performing more, giving out wristbands, and I realized that it's a good message and people appreciated it, and that it could be the title for my album. And I went with that concept and tried to, like I say, writing and finding beats and recording and all that good stuff. But that was the concept, basically. Just, and the first single off the album was No Neutral, which is a song featuring Saw Jules, the poet. That was our first single. She's somebody else dope I recommend for y'all to check out as well. And featuring Lolita Pierre, she sings on that one. And that led me to doing more tracks on the album towards that positive, uplifting direction. So I was just like, I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to see how it comes out. And I think it came out pretty well.
It came out awesome.
Thank
Not
you,
pretty
sir.
well. It came out awesome, man.
Thank you, sir.
I feel like these kind of messages and what you bring, this is what should be on the radio.
Yes.
On a regular basis. I feel like we hear so much of this, fuck them, shoot them in the face. This bitch got a like,
knock your dreads off.
You know what I'm
Call
saying?
him Randy Moss.
Yeah. And we missed the opportunity to really open some minds with positive messages.
Yeah.
You know, if they're playing music going to school in the morning and they heard Never Quit on Your Dreams, that just may make them have a better day other than hearing, you know, bounce that ass, you know, something like that, man. Yeah. And that's why I wanted you to come to the show, because of your message.
Wow, I appreciate that, man.
What you stand for, you know. We just feel like we need more of that, so that needs to be highlighted in the city. I hate turning on the news, and I know we have to accept that negative things happen. Yeah. But we can fix a lot by pushing more of your message. You know what I'm saying? If we put more of this on the news and highlighted more of these people, maybe the young people wouldn't do so much bad stuff. Maybe they would want to get on the news for the positive.
Yes, exactly. You know? They had, if it was more, like you said, more in the media, more in the news, the positivity instead of. But yeah, the music, I get into that discussion with a lot of people about the climate of what's on the radio these days, and more so what kids hear, like you said. Thank God it's different than it used to be, where the radio was the only gatekeeper to hearing any music. You had to catch your DJ, you had to get that tape record, make your mixtape. Or thank God for streaming these days. Yeah, you can find any kind of music you want. Like I say, it's different for the kids because they pretty much influenced by their friends and hopefully more their parents. But that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's the good part about it that I like, is that you have a choice to listen to. You can listen to 2 crickets and a pig in the field, streaming if you want to. It's audience for that. Trust me. Type it in YouTube. Seriously. But it's anything you can imagine is out there to listen to these days. But yeah, mainstream is definitely needs to be better about the things they pushing. It's still the whole major labels and their conglomerations, and they want to push destruction on people, unfortunately, because it makes money. Sex sells. Every song about sex on the radio, I promise.
Everything.
I'm like, now, and I ain't gonna lie, I got my whole erotica poetry side as well that some people know me for. Right. But by the same token, I'm not pushing that on these young people out here. That's in an adult environment at the right time. But yeah.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, back to those sayings. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of you doing other kind of music, I listened to one of your poems.
Uh-oh.
I don't know the name of it, but you were talking about hollering at a chick in the parking lot.
Oh, wait, what?
Parking lot pimping.
Oh, yeah.
You were parking lot pimping. So I had it was in my head until right then. The whole when he was talking about chilling with her and then getting a meal with her. I like that verse. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Can you say it for me? Because I had it there in the
Oh yeah. That was actually, that song was from a project called Club Kid. Shouts out to my guy Matt Fulmer, the dopest white boy you ever heard producing and sing, and he produced, rap, sing, everything.
Okay.
And it was the last track on my first album called Hey Fat Man, called Parking Lot. I mean, I can spit the whole verse if you want me to.
Hey, by all means.
It's your boy Big Bailey speaking to you, lady. Kill that noise, he's singing. Leave it with me, baby. I know you got a lot of dudes trying to holler at you. You even got them sugar daddies throwing dollars at you. I like the way you groove with me on the dance floor. To taste the perspiration from your neck, I'm damn sure. It's causing me temptation, I can't handle it no more. So me and you should make our way toward the exit door. I like your body, ride your curves like a NASCAR. No point in hiding, I'm not trying to get your pants off. You hot, I'll chill with you. You hungry, have a meal or two? That's how it is with me, my lady. What's the deal with you? Then it goes into meet me in the parking lot. But yeah, that's that verse.
Dope. That was dope right there. I can relate. I think we all can relate to old parking lot pimping back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Cherokee parking lot,
Okay.
Cherokee Plaza, and
Okay.
Old Cream, and
Club
stuff
Dream,
like that.
Club
That's
Dream, 3000. That was back in my day. Oh, you my same age, so
Yeah.
we come up in the same era. Yeah,
Yeah.
Augusta club scene. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, all the way down to tinted windows.
Tenant,
man.
yes,
I used to be in
tenant windows.
Tinted
DJ
windows to the
Kiki.
wall.
Back in Big Pastor Troy days.
Yeah. You went into the windows, you can guarantee two things. You're going to sweat your ass off, and it's going to be a fight.
It's gonna be a fight. Exactly.
It's gonna be a fight.
I got into one of them tenant windows fights. I got in one of them tenant windows. Well, I got jumped, actually. It wasn't really a fight because it was like 5 dudes on me. Because apparently they said I was dancing with one of their girlfriends or something. But anyway.
Yeah, you just had, if you were going to tinted windows, you know, it's a possibility there's going to be some stuff.
Oh, yeah. And it was certain songs. As soon as that beat dropped, it's going to
yeah.
be the fight song.
Nuck, if you buck, boy.
Oh,
Nuck, that's it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh,
You
yeah.
play that right there. You know, if you're not going to fight, just move to the edge, go to the bar or something like that. But okay, well, back to the music. You have another song that you're pushing right now, that I See You.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that track.
So, like I said, being that it's Sweethearts Day coming up, February, the month for lovers, as they call it. I See You actually started out as a poem I wrote for my girl for her birthday, the first birthday we celebrated as a couple together.
Okay.
And she loved it, of course, and I performed it quite a few times while she was in the audience. She always gets so bashful. It's funny. You just see her cheeks red and just embarrassed, like, oh my God, he's talking about me. But anyway, she don't talk like that. That's just my female voice.
Right.
But yeah, it was a love poem that I wrote, and I put the lyrics down, and I was like, man, I need some kind of dope instrumentation on this. Reached out to my man Pompey Productions. Oh Lord, excuse me. Reached out to my man Pompey Productions. He just put some keys on it and made the whole track magical. But yeah, that was that. And like I said, I perform it quite a bit when I do my love set, what I like to call it, going through my love poem. Another song I got, a proposal song, and then I get into the making love stuff. So yeah.
Okay. I most definitely would love to have you down for one of our events on some of your love poems.
Yes, sir.
That would be dope. I think you're one of the most dope artists in the city.
Well, I appreciate that,
I
man.
really do. I really do. And I think that you're a blessing to anyone who hears your music. I wish it was a lot more artists like you out there.
Yeah, and it's so much talent in this area. It really is. And there are people pushing the type of messages I am, whether it's few and far between as far as, not the majority of what they do, but there are some great positivity in the area. You just have to look for it. It's out there.
Yeah, we just, as a community, we don't push it.
Yeah, you're right. It's not in the forefront like it should be.
Yeah, I mean, we have to take responsibility as a community for the content that's pushed.
Yes, sir.
Because we're buying it. We're pumping it in our cars. We're playing it while we're with our kids,
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be on us to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to get away from the music just for a little bit, we would like to highlight your business, your tech company.
Yes,
What's the name
yes.
of that?
Tamell's Tech Support. I am a primarily help desk technician. I have a master's degree in information technology, have a bachelor's degree in information technology, and an associate's degree in computer networking and computer engineering. I studied at Aiken Tech, Kaplan University, and Purdue University. I also have an A+ certification and a Dell certification. And we happy to say Tamell's Tech Support has a 5.0 rating on Google since I put out the website. We got about, I think we had 50 reviews so far, so we doing great with customer service. Um, I say we, but most of the time it's just me. I used to work with more people, but it's real. I'm a one man operation. We do most things remote connection. We don't even have to be in the same room with you to fix your issue unless it's a hardware issue. And like I say, basically mostly help desk stuff, but I also do computer networking and migrations, data migration. I do some server stuff, but it's mostly help desk, which I found people needed so much more during the pandemic. Business was really booming for me then. It was rough keeping up with it because everybody's at home on their computer, so they're having problems and I need somebody to fix them. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my spiel on that. Tamell's tech support. You can find me. Just Google me. You'll find me.
Okay. If you don't mind, tell the people how they can get in touch with you, find your music, your website, your social media platforms, all of that good stuff.
Yes, sir. All of my links, all of my social media is through my website, www.bigbailey.com, which is at the bottom of this shirt. But but yeah, Facebook is my real name, Tamell Bailey, T as in Tom, Amell, B as in boy, Ailey. Instagram.com/Big Bailey with 2 G's, BIGGBAILEY. What else? YouTube is Big Bailey's Beats. And what else am I really on? SoundCloud, Big Bailey, on there. Spotify and all that stuff you can find on my website and Apple Music. Never Quit on Your Dreams is on all major streaming platforms. That's the main thing I'm trying to push people to visit my website because I got my merch on there and my previous album for sale. And I try to highlight my fans as well with wearing my merch and with my album, promoting my album. So yeah, I'm really trying to push my website more than anything else. BigBailey.com.
Okay, that's your website, that's your tech company, and you have one more, SMS Entertainment.
Yeah. Now, SMS Entertainment is the label. Right now, it consists of me and my partner, DeMarcus Wright, aka Slim. We're the ones who started the label back in. I should know the year we started. That's a shame. It's been a long time. We've been doing this since 2006, I want to say. And our original concept, SMS stands for Sign Myself. Basically, we were like, we don't need a record label. We're going to sign our own record deal. That was our concept, Sign Myself Entertainment. We threw a lot of club parties, performances, of course, produced music, put out music, had other artists that come on and develop artists. We done a lot back in the day in the CSRA area. More so now these days, SMS is what SMS for life, as I claim. And I put out every event I go to that I perform in, I'm always recording. I get video footage and I get photos. Now, I don't claim to be a videographer or a photographer, but it's just something I do to appreciate the people that put the shows together. Right. I don't even charge nothing, and I put little short videos together myself. And I always put out the photos on social media. So that goes under the SMS events or SMS entertainment moniker most of the time. But yeah, that's pretty much what SMS is. And we still working, trying to get the business side more with things. Because that's what a lot of people missing as well in this thing is the business side of the music. It is the music business. It ain't the music hobby or the music, I don't know, but it's a business, and you got to know cross your T's and dot your I's to make sure your money is going to be right. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. A lot of people just jump out there and they don't think about the business. Mm-hmm. They think they're going to make it and end up in a 360 deal or something like that, or on these record labels signing their life away where they're never going to have any of their royalties. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, if you could take any jewel with the upcoming artist, other than what you just said, what would you give them as a jewel? Help them along their way?
I would say find your lane, stay in it, and ride at 200 miles per hour. Don't skip lanes. Don't try to be like nobody else. Yeah. Don't try to do what they doing just because it's hot or because it's working. Find your lane. Like I said, it's an audience for two crickets and a pig in a field chirping. And people say, "Oh man, that cricket jamming! Ooh, chirp, chirp, chirp." You know, So by that aspect, what I say that bring it up is because there is an audience for whatever music you're making. You don't have to try to do what's hot or what's trendy. You have to find your audience. They're out there. And thank God through the World Wide Web these days, your audience might be in Poland somewhere. You know, you gotta get that reach and search for them. So, you know, don't try to be trendy and hip just because ain't nothing wrong with doing something because it's popular sometimes, but don't let that be the basis of everything you do is riding the wave. Find your lane, stay in it, and ride that thing till the wheels fall off. That's my biggest advice I can give.
Man, that's dope. And for all the kids who listening, whoever steals the idea with the two crickets in the pig and put a trap beat on it.
See,
Big Bailey, you owe them 10%. Right?
give me my royalties, god dog.
I can hear it now. Two crickets in the pig with your trap music featuring Gucci Mae.
Unfortunately, if it's got a tight beat,
that's it.
people don't even care about lyrics so much these days. That's what not. Well, most people, I'll say the majority. If you got a tight beat
And a good hook.
yeah, and you can say I don't know. I can't think of nothing crazy to say for once, but you can say I'm a motor lawn. I'm a motor lawn. Man, them crickets on that. I don't know. I can't think of nothing, but anything.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah. But
Man,
yeah,
that's dope, man. I want to thank you again for coming out.
no problem,
Once
man.
Again, man, we really appreciate you. The music that you pushing out, the messages that you push out. Like I said, we need that. Our
Yes,
communities need that. Our people need that kind of message to be pushed out. So I appreciate you for that. And this has been another episode of Studio 125 Multimedia Complex Local Artist Highlight. Again, I am your host, J.R. King, here with Mr. Big Bailey. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you, sir. This your boy Big Bailey, www.bigbailey.com, a.k.a. Mr. Never Quit on Your Dreams.
That's right. Thank you guys for tuning in.